Hey guys, Oliver here. Today we have massive NFT news to cover. Coinbase launches their beta testing platform for their NFT Marketplace. We're going to take a look at what that might bring as far as adoption. Ape Coin rumors are going absolutely bananas all over Twitter, and we've seen a huge surge in the price recently. Moonbirds going crazy, almost 30 Ether floor now. Is the NFT bull market back on, you might be wondering. Let's take a look at some data and what I see, as well as take a look at Ethereum and what Ethereum is doing with the exchanges. And at the end, I will share with you a secret pick for NFT. If you missed the boat on these blue chips and want to get in on something more entry level, let's take a look at what I got going on and what I believe has huge potential moving forward. All right, let's dive in. So this article here says Coinbase announces beta testing of NFT Marketplace with social engagement, which is a really interesting thing to look at, the social engagement. Talk about adoption. More than 8.4 million email addresses have been on the wait list for Coinbase's marketplace, which, to put things in perspective, OpenSea in January they broke the 1 million user barrier, and this Coinbase is a casual 8.4x beyond that, which is absolutely bullish for all NFTs in the whole space. We see here it's moved into beta more than 6 months after they announced it. While it is true that buying and selling NFTs is a big part of the ecosystem today, what we have learned by talking to many customers and creators is that there is more to it than just buying and selling. There's a community aspect of it. This is a really interesting thing. Coinbase is bringing like a Facebook element, like a social media element to the NFTs, where you can see here this person has a profile, Molly Lorenzo, and they have a collection, and they have followers and following. So my thoughts on this is I believe it's going to really bring a lot of adoption towards normal users and open the space up to following trending collectors. If you're really good at what you do, you'll probably accumulate a lot of followers, and you'll be able to track, as a follower, you'll be able to track these influencers and follow in their footsteps, if you will. So you can keep tabs on them. Say they find a new project they buy 10 of or 20 of. You go, oh my God, this might be something worth doing more research on and getting into yourself. Of course, this does have a downside. It creates more mob mentality of like FOMOing into projects, which we don't necessarily want. And they're going to be rolling out like a commenting system. So their vision is to create gated communities similar to Discord gated communities. If you hold the NFT, you can have access to like a social platform. I think that's really cool and will bring a lot of interesting innovations into the space. So I don't think it's really going to impact the current ecosystem and projects like, Bored Ape Yacht Club. I doubt they're going to hand over the keys to their community and build something inside of Coinbase. However, what we might see is new projects will really leverage this this ecosystem to build something, sort of how businesses are built on top of Facebook. I think we might start to see NFT projects built on top of this Coinbase platform, and they'll be really leveraging the different tools that are available to them for community building. So I think it's pretty exciting. And one thing that I do want to note is right now, they've said there's going to be no KYC, so it will be just anonymous, which is great, and very much to the tune of decentralization, which they seem to resonate with, and they keep saying that they want to focus on what the Web3 is and really drive their vision towards Web3 and not a Web 2.5, for example. You see here, in regarding to moderating comments, Saxena said the platform will operate on the principle that users and lawmakers decide the law of the land. According to Coinbase executive, the staff is not in the business of judging what's right, what's wrong, as long as it's legal. So the way I interpret this is they're not looking to censor, they're not looking to control or dictate or be the police. Unless something is illegal, they're going to let it fly, which is great. And in the true spirit of decentralization, I think we have a big problem with censorship today and freedom of speech. So it's very nice to see such a thing here with this. What else do we have here? Yeah, something to note. The crypto exchange Coinbase has 89 million users with a trading volume of 547 billion in quarterly volume. So this is absolutely massive how many users they have and are going to gain. They're going to put so many eyes onto the NFT marketplace, which is absolutely wonderful. And yeah, we have 8.4 million email addresses now, but once those people get registered and once more normal people that are outside the space already begin to see how easy it is to buy and sell NFTs, it's just going to go absolutely parabolic from here. Yep. So moving on to Ethereum, because we might be thinking, well, what's this going to do with the Ethereum price? If you follow this channel, you can see I've been talking a lot about this from a technical perspective. We have this epic cup and handle forming dating back to June of 2018, this big bowl of a cup. And now we have this imperfect but still beautiful handle forming here. We had this false break back here in December, but then everything crashed. And now we have this consolidation accumulation forming before the breakout of 8 million Satoshis is the definitive resistance that we haven't yet breached. So this is what I've got my eyes on. I tend to chart things against Bitcoin, especially Ethereum itself. It gives me a better idea of what the token's doing relative to the space. It takes away the dollar price movement of Bitcoin and looks at the actual token performance against crypto, which is against the Bitcoin. So I think that with this huge influx of new users on the Coinbase Marketplace, as well as ETH 2.0 rolling around the corner later this year, I think we're going to see a huge supply shock on Ethereum. And when the technicals and the fundamentals line up, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. A break to the upside here. You can see there's not much price history above 8 million Satoshis. We had some parabolic movements back here in late 2017. So really the way I see it is the sky's the limit once this thing breaks, which it looks like it wants to in the coming months. I would give it about till July at the latest to form this triangle breakout to the upside. And if it breaks to the upside, it's going to be a very beautiful thing. Overall, very, very bullish for Ethereum. Another metric we can look at is how much ETH is being held on exchanges. It's a really common way to look to see how the overall market sentiment is towards a coin. Typically when there's an exchange outflow, meaning people withdrawing their tokens from the exchange, it shows sign of investor confidence. They're taking coins out of the exchange to do something else with them, typically hold them in cold storage. And then when they move them back onto the exchange, as they want the liquidity to move them into Tether or other to sell them on some level. So we see here back since mid-July of 2020, there's just been this steady decrease of supply on the exchanges. And we see here now, move myself over for you. We see now here we're hitting all-time low. All-time low was back in February. We bounced and now we're going back down into the abyss. So ETH leaving exchanges in record levels, all-time low. ETH being held on exchange. It's a very good sign for Ethereum in general. Okay, the talk of the day is about Ape Coin. There have been rumors flying all over Twitter. People are going bananas over the speculation as to what this token will be doing, the land sale that's coming up, the land drop. Let's take a look and see what's going on. So a rumor has been circulating across social media platforms since April 18th, suggesting that owners of the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club, they will receive virtual lands on the much anticipated Other Side metaverse platform. The metaverse platform of the Other Side is like an MMO type game that they want to incorporate, and they're also going to be doing a whitelist ability for these top blue chips. You see here, CryptoPunks, Meebits, Cool Cats, Nouns, WoW, World of Woman, and Toads are all going to have opportunity for whitelisting, which is huge news for these projects, as well as to be expected in my mind an airdrop for the core project of Bored and Mutant Apes. So yeah, we see here again, Other Side will be an MMO game. And one thing we're seeing circulating also is these lands are going to start with a Dutch auction price of about 600 ape, and that's at the time of this article's writing about $10,700. So there's a huge demand and need for this Ape Coin, as they're going to be doing their land sale in Ape, not in ETH. So something to be aware of here is the Ape Coin price. Of course, with all of this news and hype, we had this huge breakout of a run of about 60% in just a few days. This is a 4-hour chart. We tapped the previous all-time high back here at the very beginning of the launch of about 1750. We pulled back, and now we're sitting here on 1550, looking to retest this previous high and see how we hold and go from here. My thoughts on this: I do anticipate, again, not financial advice, this is just my opinion, I think we're going to see a further price surge up until and even during the Dutch auction. But then once everybody who doesn't get the land is disheartened and dismayed, we will see a sell-off of the Ape Coin, and that is inevitable. So this could be a good play leading up to the land auction, but I do anticipate a sell-off, and we'll be planning to liquidate my position as well. Not financial advice, just something to keep an eye on. Moonbirds have been going crazy. We see here the floor is nearly 30 ETH. These minted not too long ago, just several days ago, at 2.5 ETH, and the volume is absolutely insane. The level of achievement this project has already created. Not so surprisingly, given the team's background and their success so far in the space. I love the art. Not that that's the most important thing, but I think the art is super cool, super fresh. I have high hopes for Moonbirds, but I am curious to see if they're able to hold this 30 ETH floor out of the hype. If this price will stay or if we're going to see a dip, I am not sure. But the big question that I'm asking is the NFT bull market back on? Are we about to see a huge surge in NFTs across the space? Let's take a look at some data on OpenSea here. Yeah, we see here on OpenSea the trading volume from the peak back early this year. We've had a drop, but now it looks like it's accumulating again. We can see better here on monthly volume. Back in November at the peak, we had the crash and NFTs sold off quite sharply, and we had another surge, and now it looks like we've stabilized back down here at 3.4 billion monthly in the month of March, and now we are accumulating more volume, looking for the next leg up. If I look at this chart, my interpretation is I see when NFTs were not such a thing, early last year, we had a volume floor of about 140 million, and then we surged into the billions, and our pullback this time on the floor is about 2.2 billion in volume for a month. So I can only imagine how high the volume is going to go from here. That is bullish across the space for all the projects. Of course, there's more NFTs now than ever before, but I do see lots of potential for some blue chips that might have been forgotten. Last rounder had a run and have been cooling off. One in particular I like is Sappy Seals. They hit a 2 ETH floor, and now they're back down to about 0.7. So the strike price is right for me. I do believe in this project long term. And now I want to share with you guys a project I really believe in that is connected to but not affiliated with, but they're all the same community, that I think has great potential for long term, and something I'm a big believer in, and that is the Squishyverse. So the Squishyverse has largely been under the radar for several months. I minted one back here in the beginning at about 0.1 ETH. I got lucky with a rare, and I painstakingly held it down about a 50% loss, but I invested in the team, not in the idea. I really like the artist. I think Four Leaf Clover is a wonderful human, and I believe that she brings a great energy to a space, and people really gravitate towards her. Her story is really beautiful. If you get the chance, I recommend checking her out. So this is her baby, the Squishyverse, and you can see we've seen a lot of uptick in sale volume and price appreciation in the last few weeks. And this is not just because of hype, this is because they are actually building and delivering on their promises. Namely, they're building what is called the Squishyverse, which is their own metaverse. And it is like a cartoonified MMO RPG type game. There's going to be dungeons and battles and collecting. And what I really like about their Squishy Lands, they call it, we'll watch the video first and then I'll continue. Right, it's quite cute. But what I really like about it the most is the way they're building their economy. So many of these play to earn games, they have the problem of no buying pressure. So you just get these farmers that come in and they grind and hustle and they just drive the token price to zero. But Squishyverse seems to, in my mind, have adopted a more freemium phone game type approach in which you can play. But then if you want like loot boxes, you can buy them with their token Slime. And the loot boxes contain things like mounts and weapons and guild charters and things that you need for the game. So I like the circular economy that's being built. There's a lot of buying pressure, there's a lot of interest. And not only that within the game, but the Slime token can also be used to buy whitelists as well as whitelist raffles. You can buy NFTs themselves, and Clover herself will also sell things like have your squishy featured in episode 5 of our animation. It's quite cool. It's a really good community. A lot's being built in the space, and the returns right now are absolutely insane. I talked about the buying pressure. So to put things in perspective here, my Slime token is currently trading at 26 cents, which this is a nice refreshing chart. If you look at a lot of farm tokens, they just go straight to zero. We actually see a nice price appreciation here over time. Right, we had the initial launch. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, so we see here just this nice price appreciation of the farm token, which means people really want the asset, which I love. And to put things into perspective on how much money this is making me, this is the slime farm. You can stake your slime to earn more slime, and I am staking close to 2,000. You can see here I've already earned about 9%. And the way this works is my squishy is quite rare. He's in the top 500, so I earn 72 slime per day, which is $555 a month, which is crazy considering the floor on these guys is only 0.4 Ether. The floor is 0.44, so the floor in dollars is about $13.20, which at current rate I'm earning about a 42% per month yield, which is absolutely insane. And to see the token value holding the way that it is, it's really, really wonderful. And I love the project. I cannot speak highly enough about the artist, about the project itself, the vision, what they're executing, what they're actually releasing. It's just been up only for me and loving it every day, more and more bullish. That's it for the NFTs. I do want to close on one last thing, which is super interesting, is Shopify is bringing Bitcoin to a quarter of the global population. Strike's partnership with Shopify allows people to use Bitcoin in a much more mainstream way, ditching traditional payment system monopolists. I feel every corner I turn around, there's a new article about mass adoption, more institutions buying Bitcoin, more payment rails, more gateways, more ways to access crypto. It's coming, everything's happening, it's exploding. I feel there's just this price suppression and accumulation in Bitcoin and crypto as a whole right now, and it's just a matter of time before things get flying again. And I'm so bullish on the space. NFTs are looking great. Bitcoin, it's sleeping, but don't sleep on Bitcoin, because when it rips, it will rip. That's it for today, guys. Again, big NFT news. If you like the video, drop some feedback, like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I do twice weekly news updates as well as tutorials, and focus on things like mindset as well. If you have the wrong mindset, you're not going to win the game. My name's Oliver, and that's it for today. I'll catch you next time. Peace.